Hey, let's go for a ride.
Your helmet's on backwards.
Hey, what's up? Coach Scott here from Pedal Therapy. This video is going to be all about helmets. We're going to cover the types, how they should fit, and how they work. So let's jump right into it. The first type of helmet is a skate or trials helmet. Now this isn't actually one of those. This is a child's helmet, but it's styled with a street or trials style. This type of helmet is designed to take multiple hits, used at slower speeds, not a lot of air vents, but good coverage. Next up is sort of a classic cross-country helmet. So you can see lots more airflow, a lot more vents, designed for higher speeds, but not very technical riding, lighter weight. Here's a trail or enduro helmet. So less airflow, trading that for more protection down the back, maybe a tiny bit heavier than a cross-country helmet. And last up is the full-on DH or downhill helmet. So maximum protection, not a lot of airflow, trading that for maximum protection, and of course the chin bar that helps protect your face. Now over the past couple years, there's been styles of helmets that have been blended between the downhill and the enduro helmet, where you'll have an enduro style helmet with a removable chin guard or chin bar. And Fox came out with what they call a drop frame helmet, which is similar to an enduro helmet, but with more coverage down here over the ears, and has a fit that's more like a downhill helmet. All right, let's get into how the helmets actually work and how they protect your head. So some folks might think that they're designed to just protect for bumps and scrapes. And while that's true, that's not their primary function. Their primary function is to absorb the energy from when your head hits the ground. And it does that by having a crumple zone around your head. So that crumple zone is made out of EPS, or expanded polystyrene. So what EPS is, you can see inside the helmet here, it's kind of like a hard styrofoam. You can see you can kind of make marks in it with your fingernails, like in a cooler you might take to the beach. But it's it's like a hard styrofoam. So if you guys have ever seen the videos of crash test videos of a car, and the whole front of the car crumples in that crumple zone, keeping the occupants protected, that's what the EPS is doing. So when your head hits the ground, that EPS is going to crumple and reduce the impact of that, or reduce the energy of that impact. So if we look at a chart, or a graph rather, we have impact energy against time. Without a helmet, you'll see a huge spike as your head hits the ground. And at some point there's a threshold here where you're going to sustain brain injury. What a bicycle helmet does is damp out that impact. So as we look inside the helmet, you might see you will see pads in here. These are just for your comfort. They have nothing to do with the protection of your head, just to make sure that the helmet fits on your head properly. The outer skin of the helmet makes it look cool, but it's also designed as your head hits the ground that it doesn't just stick, it actually will skid along the ground. And that also helps to prevent huge rotational forces and wrenching on your neck and your head. So I could bore you with all the industry standards that they use for testing, but just let's talk about how they actually do those tests. So they'll have an anvil that's shaped like a head, and they'll put that helmet on. And when they first started doing this, they were testing just a direct impact. So they would load the helmet up on the test equipment, and they would just drop it. And they would measure how well the helmet protected against that direct impact. But over time, they realized that's not realistic. That's not how people crash. So they developed some technology called MIPS, which is Multi-Directional Impact Protection System, or MIPS. It's a technology that many helmet manufacturers license. And it's a secondary layer that goes in between the pads and the EPS and provides a rotational crumple zone. So when your head does hit the ground, because it is going to rotate, it helps, again, damp out the impact from the rotational component of the crash. All right, so let's get into the fit portion. This is the most important part. So as you place the helmet on your head, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that it's coming down over your forehead. I can't tell you how many beginner riders and even kids that I see riding around with their helmets like this. This isn't going to do anything if you happen to fall face forward. So first, make sure that helmet's coming down, fitting just above your eyebrows. So next, you get these two straps that are coming around your ears. You want those to make a nice V around your ears. And then third, we got our chin strap. So you want that chin strap to be able to about fit 2 fingers in there, or if I open my mouth, I can feel that helmet, those straps pull my helmet down on my head. So there's my 2 fingers. I can feel that helmet pulling down, so that's feeling good. Lastly, in the back, most helmets these days have some sort of cinch strap. That one's kind of a pinch. Other ones you'll have a rotational piece on it. What that does is it cinches that head strap around your head, and it should feel like a baseball cap. You know, nice and snug, not too tight, not too loose. So the ideal way to figure out if you get that tight enough is cinch that head strap up, and then your helmet should not fall off. So after you get the fit dialed in, I like to do one more kind of, just push it around on your head, see how much it moves. You know, if I don't have that head strap cinched down and my chin strap's too loose, and it's really going to move around on my head, and that's not going to do anything to protect your head from an impact. All right, to wrap things up, let's talk about the lifespan of the helmet. Most manufacturers, it's going to be about 3 to 5 years, and that's just because over time the EPS has a limited lifespan, especially if you store it in your hot garage or your hot car. So if you can store it inside, you'll get the most longevity out of your helmet. If you're not sure, you can check on the inside of your helmet. This particular one has a sticker where you can see it says it was manufactured in June 2015. If you don't have a sticker, you know, check with your manufacturer. That's if you don't crash. If you do have a crash, depending on your crash, these helmets, again, as I explained earlier, they're designed to crumple, but they only crumple once. So if you have a really hard crash, certainly if you rung your bell and knock yourself out, or if there's any massive damage to the helmet, certainly if it's cracked or giant dents, it's probably a good idea to replace the helmet. Again, if you're not sure, check with the manufacturer of your helmet. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. See ya.